Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Stupid is being nice. You're an absolute
Did you hear
moron.
what I said?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Hello there, freakazoids! How the hell's it going, man? Yeah, I didn't realize this, but the judge hasn't decided yet if he's streaming the trial. That makes me nervous. I can't imagine him not streaming it, though. All he could do is just control things that he doesn't want streamed. I mean, I can't imagine him not doing that. That would be ridiculous. So I just sent him an email, not him, the courts. And that Dateline's on right now, so on the East Coast, etc., and I can't watch it. So I'm really frustrated that I have to wait 3 hours before it shows up on my end over here. So I think it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. Yeah, so Christina comes over here to try to get people, oh yeah, and then they leave, and then they go watch it. Let's see. I know, the Grim Reaper selfie. Did you see my little AI versions of it? It's pretty good. Let's see what we got here. And thanks, Richard Watts. But these are all the... I was trying to make the image... hold on a second. Right here. So look at that, that's pretty good, using ChatGPT to make the version of this. His face is a little bit thicker in that one, but this is the one that came out. Apparently, he shot this on 12/28. Zozo sent this to me. Apparently, nobody else saw it or didn't send it to me, whatever it was. But this one right here is, on 2 days before he was arrested, he posted this Grim Reaper image. How ridiculous is that? This image right here. I mean, my God, what a nut job. So the AI version is this one right here, and then I took this one right here, and I had AI put the balaclava on it. Look how good some of these are. That one's, that one right there is really accurate. And it's crazy how they even put in the arm over here. Like that. But you do have to flip these. I think is that the one? No, that's not it. Yeah, so that's probably what he looked like when he went in that night. Just like that. Here's another one. This one, he looked too sad. Look at that damn thing. That's right. So clear. Wild. Anyways, this one right here is a real image that he put out there. Really creepy stuff. But hey guys, here we are again. We're doing a live stream. We had Richard Watts at the start up there. We try to raise funds every single night. I do these shows. This one might be a really long one. I was thinking this one might be... because I might even stay on like at 9 o'clock my time, and then we can all watch for 2 hours for the West Coast people to see it. Yep, just an unlucky Kohberger. I mean, who doesn't dress like this? Great! Oh, God, the whiners. My God. Unbelievable. Yeah, he looks like crap there. He does look like crap. He looks like he's sort of freaked himself out. Well, if you send me the NBC live stream link, is it going to play for me? Because I think you have to be... yeah, go ahead. Email it to me. Let's see if it works. And then maybe we can have it playing over here. I won't play the video, but we'll listen to it or whatever and watch it. Or... Yeah, send it to me, though. You can't put it in here. You have to send it to my email, which is right here. But in the meantime, let's see what we got here. I bet you when you watch tonight's show regarding the Elantra, you'll say, hell, Gray's already said all that. I bet you $100 that there'll be absolutely nothing other than new video. It'll be exactly what I've said. I'm not really going to bet $100 because there's like, you know, but you watch, it's going to say exactly what I've been saying for, gosh, I mean, like almost 2 years. And I've been telling you guys how incredible. There was an interview that Nate Eaton did, who doesn't seem to know the case very well. He said, so, hey, Keith, tell me about this. There's a vehicle driving around? What? What are you talking about, man? There's a vehicle driving around? Tell me about that. Yeah, there's a vehicle. It's probably, you know, other than the DNA, it's probably I think it's the biggest thing in the case, the Elantra. Because it's the backbone of every single thing in there. And it's really huge. Without that, you know, you can make some weird, you know, a jury might have a difficult time. Even if, you know, because you could just say, well, it's touch DNA, you know, or whatever the terminology they're going to use. All right, right here. I don't think Nate Eaton's covered the Kohberger case that much, though. It's just kind of odd to not be aware of the white Elantra. He's been doing Lori Daybell. Let's see. Brian Kohberger's phone contained pictures of bikini-clad students, Ted Bundy-esque selfies, and searches for disturbing porn, according to a chilling new report. The accused University of Idaho slasher also looked up the song Criminal by Britney Spears, NBC Dateline reported. New evidence from Brian Kohberger's phone showed a creepy selfie imitating Ted Bundy and searches for nearby students in bikinis. All right, Bundy had an image like that? What are you talking about? Here, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see that one. Not sure what they're talking about. Yeah. Did somebody send me the link? Yeah, we can't really watch. I mean, if you're in the UK, you could probably watch it 3 hours ago. You didn't send me the link yet. Thank you, Theo Roy. And that's the person I wanted to apologize to at the end of the show last night, because I misread what they said early in the show, where they were talking about, I was talking about the lime green Elantra, and then they said, well, yeah, and he also changes plates or something, you know, or whatever it was. I can't remember. Yeah, like changes plates, as if the Elantra, that lime green one, was the person, but she was talking about actually the white Elantra, Kohberger's car, so it was confusing. And we were chock filled with trolls, so, you know, that's what it felt like. Yeah, that's great, Pete, but we're not seeing it, so it doesn't matter. I'd like to just do the show, and when it comes on, we'll just discuss it. Yeah. But currently, you guys, we're at $8. So if you guys are out there and you can help support the channel, we got to Get moving. $8.67, 0 channel memberships, etc. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna, that's what I'm saying. See, right when Pete typed it in, now we got somebody going, hey, who texted with it? You know, blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. It's just gonna keep going. Yeah, some girl that he went, probably the one at the pool party. I'm confused. Where can we watch it? It's on Dateline. It's on at 6 o'clock East Coast time, and then 8 o'clock, or 8 o'clock Central or something, and then it's 9 o'clock for me, which is 2 hours and 45 minutes from now. It's on in Arizona? That's weird. How come? Why would it be on in Arizona? That doesn't make any sense. Somebody said you want the live stream link, and they didn't send it. Hey, thanks, CR. Appreciate it. Why are you leaving uniquely, Susie, retired hospice RN? I do have Peacock TV, but it's not live. It just has all their content, so I can watch it tomorrow. I can probably grab the any surveillance footage that they have on there and add it to what we've already got. They have all of the footage where the vehicle is driving back and forth, and I'm just hoping to God, you know what I'm hoping for, you guys? That they show the DoorDash driver. I predict it's going to be 3:59 and 46 seconds is when the guy got out of the car. Oh, you sent it. It's got yours with spam. So there it is right there. It says, this message seems dangerous. Similar messages were used to steal people's personal information. I don't know, man. It's this I don't know if I should click on that one. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not clicking on that. I mean, it looks like the link says you free. Let me. It says you free TV NBC. You know, it looks like it might be a legitimate link. It's just that's what the message is. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I wouldn't click on it. Wonder Woman said, I have been so busy with work. Happy to finally catch a live tonight with you freaks. Let's see. There is a really... let me just go to this other article. It was on Yahoo over here. This one's NBC News, so let's go over this one. 6 weeks before a masked intruder slipped inside a rental home on the edge of the University of Idaho campus, fatally stabbed 4 students, and ducked into the darkness, Brian Kohberger was coming under pressure. During the fall semester of 2022, Kohberger was a 27-year-old doctoral student, the same age as Ted Bundy. I'll just throw that in there. And that's somebody mentioned in the chat the other day. Student in criminology at Washington State University, an 8-mile drive west of the University of Idaho. His role as a teaching assistant leading classes and grading papers was not going well. Students and sources who spoke to Dateline said some students complained that he was overly demanding and they didn't feel comfortable. Hey, thanks, uniquely, Susie, retired hospice RN. Let's see. Kohberger's cell phone browsing history obtained by Dateline and the possession of law enforcement shows dozens of pictures of female students at Washington State and the University of Idaho, many in bathing suits. A review of those accounts found some of them were close friends with or followers of 3 of the murdered students, Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan. While Idaho prosecutors allege Kohberger murdered the 3 housemates as well as Kernodle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, 20, in the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, a prior connection, if any, between the suspect and the victim has remained unknown. Hey, thanks Robert P. and Deidre Gambrel and Toka Charlie. You know, you guys, you can put questions and so forth in the super chats. Right here it says, while Idaho prosecutor alleged Kohberger murdered the 3 housemates as well as Colonel's boyfriend. Okay, we already did that. Now, ahead of the long-awaited trial that's set to begin in August, digital material and documents obtained by Dateline offer new insights into the case in the weeks leading up to the killing until Kohberger's arrest in late December. A judge entered a not guilty plea on Kohberger's behalf in May of 2023 on 4 counts. That's when he remained silent or whatever the hell that was. Defense lawyers have said he maintains his innocence, and during a court hearing in Boise last month, they teased the possibility of an alternate suspect. Oh yes, you guys, the green Elantra, the lime green Elantra. In the summer before the murders, Kohberger had moved from the Poconos region of Pennsylvania, where his family lives, to Pullman, Washington, home to Washington State University. He was invited to an afternoon pool party in nearby Moscow, Idaho, on July 9th, according to 3 witnesses who met him there. Kohberger's phone data, analyzed by an FBI cell phone expert and obtained by Dateline, suggests. So this is all the FBI. The FBI has a counter investigation at the same time, and they are the source for Dateline, not law enforcement in Moscow, Idaho. They're not doing it. The investigators there have nothing to do with this information. Kohberger's phone data, analyzed by an FBI cell phone expert and obtained by Dateline, suggests he was in Moscow again on the 9th, that same day as the pool party, after dark. Over the next month, the expert said his phone data indicated a dozen trips to Moscow. So after that pool party, he got really excited. In doing so, his phone had also connected with a cell tower providing coverage to within 100 meters of. So that's a true thing now. I don't know. I didn't see that wording that was in the document. Did not say that. So if there's something that they determined later that we're not aware of, then there it is. The coverage to within 100 meters of 1122 King Road, and addresses the murdered housemates according to the data. Let's see, so it's let me read that again. In doing so, his phone had also connected with a cell tower providing coverage to within 100 meters of 1122 King Road, the address of the murdered housemates according to data. Let's see. Let's go over. Let me show you what that looks like, you guys. I mean, if that's true and they can really lock that in, then it's like a no-brainer here. Man, I have it so small that you can't. Let's see, where is it? Wow. I'm gonna have to just type it in because I don't remember exactly where it was without the. Yeah, way down here. See these little, yeah, look how, see, that's how little the, I couldn't see it from way up there, it's so small. But look at this. See this circle right here? That's 100 meters, or 100, they said 100 meters, right? Hold on, let me go back to that. I think I have a yard, so let me fix that. Yeah, 100 meters, all right, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to get rid of this. All right, and then here's the 1122 King Road address right here, this one. And then we're going to go and get a circle and put it right in the middle of the house. And to make this meters. And then from there, go out. And then when that says 100 meters, I'll stop it. Right there. Boom. That's right, exactly 100. We'll save it and then make it wider, like 5. There you go. And there we go. So if Kohberger was inside of this circle 12 times. Where else would he be right now, you guys? I mean, this is incredible to me. Because it's all, even when you turn right in there, that's in the 100 meters. And then you come around, and this whole area here is all in the 100 meters. Even back here is close, right? And then he comes around there. It's crazy. So that means he was literally I think he was stalking this house all the way back then. Yeah, well, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, yeah. All right, let's see. We have 5 new members, and we're languishing at 37. We're still about 1/8 of the nightly goal. So if you guys are out there, have the ability to support the channel, that'd be great. We're about a third of the way through the month, and maybe tomorrow we'll send out a donation somewhere. I was thinking of doing Ethan's Smile again. Got to get some more money into the Idaho for charitable causes. All right, so where were we at here? Kohberger's phone data analyzed. I think it was right here. So let's read that again. In doing so, his phone had also connected with a cell tower providing coverage within 100 meters of 1122 King Road, the address of the murdered housemates, according to the data. In late September, records from the criminology student's phone and possession of law enforcement, including an internet search for... that's what he did. He searched for the word sociopathic traits in college student. So he's kind of wondering about himself. And the following month, there was a search for pornography containing keywords drugged and sleeping. Man, I mean, that's just crazy, right? And then on October 14th, Kohberger... How many of you have searched that up? Search that. Pornography regarding drugs and being drugged and sleeping. Then on October 14th, Kohberger was pulled over in his white 2015 Hyundai Elantra for an alleged traffic violation, his second stop in 7 weeks. He had an amicable interaction with the Washington State University police officer, body cam video shows. And it says 5 days later, another online search. Can psychopaths behave pro-socially, according to Kohberger's phone data? Man, who types that in? The following month, 6 days before the King Road murders, Kohberger's phone connected with the same cell tower close to the home. So that means within... I'm not sure if it's saying if he's within 100 meters on that one. The FBI data indicates that data showed 23 visits over 4 months, all after dark. So apparently those are all within the 100 meters. Up here, it said, the experts said his phone data indicates a dozen trips to Moscow, and they were all within 100 meters of the residence. And I think these are the continuation, like there's another 11. Kohberger's lawyers have said in filings that he would take drives alone late night, often hiking or stargazing, and contend cell phone data would show he was not near the crime scene when the killings occurred. On November 12, 2022, the King Road housemates were out celebrating Senior Day as the University of Idaho football team played a home game that afternoon. So, let's see. That was earlier in the day. And then around 9 p.m., Gonzalez posted a carousel picture on Instagram showing her and her housemates that day. The caption, "One lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day." That's that one where they're all together. What did I just do with that? There it was. And then at 2 a.m. the next day, the housemates had returned after a night of partying. I actually have the entire timeline of this right here. If we go to the 2 o'clock time frame, right here it is 2 o'clock. Bethany, Dylan, Madison, and Kaylee are in Kaylee's room. And then at 2:10, Dylan Mortensen sends a text to an Uber driver she knew to see if he was driving, because they wanted to go get some food. And I think it was just Bethany and Dylan who wanted to go get some food, because Madison and Kaylee obviously just got home with food. And then at 2:13, Uber driver to Dylan Mortensen confirming he was driving. Then at 2:26, Kaylee begins, and then they decided not to go out after that. And then at 2:26, Kaylee begins calling Bethany Funk. And Kaylee begins calling Bethany Funk. I'm not sure what that means. And then 2:42, Kohberger's is at his house, his residence over there. So I think there was just a call here. I think I needed to... No, it's over here. This is where the Madison phone calls and everything, or the Kaylee calls to Jack, were happening at 2:52. Hey, thanks, H. Runs, and Bridget Ballman. Hey, Gray. It says, hey, Gray, he's weird as hell. Amazing clear footage you showed yesterday. I was just catching up on it. You talking about the surveillance footage? Or what? I think it was this one we were on. So by 2 a.m. the next day, the housemates had returned after a night of partying. Gonzalez and Mogan were together, while Kernardle was with Chapin. But so was Bethany Funk and Dylan were with Gonzalez and Mogan. And two other housemates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, were also still up. Yeah, but they were all in Kaylee's room. At 3:30 a.m., a car that investigators believed to be a white Elantra was captured on a neighborhood home security video. The footage obtained by Dateline shows the car going towards King Road home and circling past the block multiple times over the next hour. At 4:07 a.m., the white car drove by yet again. And by saying driving by, it's behind 500 King Road, or Queen Road, 500 Queen Road back there. And then the lights beam onto 1127 at 4:07 and 47 seconds. And then it's in that 13, and then it leaves at a high rate of speed at 4:20 and 47 seconds. So it's just pretty amazing that it's both 47. So it's exactly 13 minutes are in between the two sightings of the vehicle, either lights or the vehicle itself, on the 1112 King Road camera. So on this camera right here, this camera, when the Elantra drove by at 4:20 and 47 seconds, it's probably about right here. And then when the vehicle prior to that at 4:07 and 47 seconds, after coming around like this, that's right when the vehicle was turning, because the headlights hit the top of this building over here as it was turning, and then it parked back here. So it turns like this and then parks right back here for 13 minutes. Probably parked at 4:08, and then I think left the house by 4:18. But I think he took 2 or 3 minutes before he even entered the home. And then when he left the house, spent another 2 minutes or so getting rid of his bloody clothing, putting it in the plastic bags or something, and therefore limiting the exposure to the vehicle, just like a criminology student of his level might actually know to do. You know. Welcome, Jess. Okay, back to this. Okay, it shows the vehicle speeding off. It was going about 20 miles an hour, but in that neighborhood, that's pretty quick. It's in that 13-minute time frame that the prosecutors have said. Look how similar this is to what I've said 1,000 times. I mean, it's just the whole thing. How many times on my show have I said, inside of that 13 minutes, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and I'm not sure which one I didn't say, Xana Kernodle, they were all killed inside that 13-minute window. And then inside that 13-minute window, a knife sheath was left on Madison Mogen's bed that had Brian Kohberger's DNA on it. And it matched Brian Kohberger's DNA. That's his DNA on the knife sheath. Therefore, the white Elantra driving around missing its front license plate is his. Okay, do you get it? There isn't a lime green one. There might be one in the area, but it's not the car driving around that night. It's in that 13-minute time frame that prosecutors have said in a court filing they believe Gonzalez, Mogen, and Kernodle were murdered. I said this 2 years ago. Remember how they had Ford at 425? But I narrowed it down after seeing the 1330 Linda Lane footage that the murders happened between 4:08 and 4:20. But now we know it's like 4:07 and 47 seconds. But we know, here's what the reality is. Here's what the reality is if the car is seen right here driving away at 4:20 and 47 seconds, that means it left over here at 4:20 and 30 seconds, probably even later, for 4:20 and 35 seconds. But then there's time to get out from the house there, so maybe subtract another 35 seconds. So that would make it about 4:20 leaving the house. But he left the house at like 4:18 and was just hanging out by the car getting rid of the blood spatter. I think the murders happened between, I'm going to just say it like this, like 4:11 and 4:18, a 7-minute window, okay? That's what I think. I think he took time preparing for blood spatter before going there, and then when he came out, he took off his clothing and put into motion the blood spatter mitigation that he put in place before going into the house. Doesn't that make sense? Gray, I just can't see it. All right. Hey, thanks, Jess and Von Dazen. And welcome, Jess, as well. Yeah. All right, so it's in that 13-minute time frame, but you already know it's less than 12 minutes because the car had to park at 4:08, and then you'd have to get into the house, and that would make it like 4:09, right? That the quickest you could do it. He'd be in the house at like 4:08:30. And then he left so it'd be like a 10.5-minute window just mathematically, because the car's still moving in the two outer ranges. The 4:07 and 47 seconds, the car's still moving, and then it's moving at 4:20 and 47 seconds. Hey, thank you, Courtney. Very kind, very kind. All right, and then it says so all of them were killed in that window, suffering multiple knife wounds, or multiple wounds by a large knife. Mortensen and Funk were not physically harmed, but Mortensen would later tell investigators that she had seen a figure walking past her in black clothing and a ski mask exiting the house. And don't forget the one sentient eyebrow that she saw. Yeah, here he is right here. that doesn't look like his face. I think this one here is the best one, I think. That kind of looks like him. So there he is in that same shower, but that's what I think he looked almost, let me get that out the screen. Almost looked exactly like this right here. See that? Almost exactly. I think that's how he was, all dark. I mean, maybe the suit was different, maybe more of a Tyvek type black suit. What's the problem, Pool Boy? There's 0 problems with the timeline. The only people that have problems with the timeline are people that watch the Clown, the UK guy, and a bunch of the other wackos out there. Okay. All right, here we go. Just move it down here. Hey, freaks! Thanks, Gray and members, for all you do. Awesome. Dork. Dork. That was a word from 1982 or something. No doy. You remember that? You know that movie Dodgeball? That was so great. It had all these words from back in the day. Yeah, why did you go there? Uniquely, Susan says, or Susie said, I'm still curious why his dad flew to Washington to drive back to pay him. Drive back to pay him? Pay with him? Oh, Pennsylvania, I mean. Did you know or suspect something? Did he? Yeah, I think Kohberger wanted his dad to come sort of to like, hey, there isn't this single guy driving across looking dodgy. Maybe his dad even knew, you know. Maybe his dad's sort of like Dexter's dad. Yeah. So what was the timeline problem that somebody was having up above? What is it? Come on, P. Where's your... Ask the question. Ask the question, P. We were all waiting for you. It was such a dramatic... I'm having problems with the timeline, Gray. And now we just need to see what the question is. All right, here we go. Mortensen and Funk were not physically harmed, but Mortensen would later tell investigators that she had seen a figure walking past her in black clothing and a ski mask exiting the house. Sources close to the investigation told Dateline, so this must be new, they believe Mogan may have been the killer's intended target. Who's been saying that for a long time now? Because the intruder had gone directly upstairs to her bedroom where Gonzalez was with her. See, here's how I think of how it went down. I think it's very possible that Kohberger went to that house to kill one person, and he was going to go in there, and he was going to do it quietly, and he was going to leave the K-bar knife sheath as a calling card. But when he goes into the room, he was surprised after he said he was going to go for it anyways, because Kaylee was sleeping, but it woke her up when he killed Madison. Kaylee woke up and started fighting back, and that's why she got punched and attacked, and she got killed, and then he thought, okay, I'm going to still leave this anyways. But then, as he's going out, he's going to leave the knife sheath. As he's going out, he hears, hey, there's somebody up there. And then he goes down, and then there's a confrontation with Xana. And lo and behold, there's Ethan. And then it's just another big battle again. And he just gets the hell out of there. He did not see Dylan Mortensen. She saw him, but he did not see her. And the best explanation for that is somebody in the chat the other day, about a month ago it seems like now, said, well, here's how we know that Kohberger did not see Dylan Mortensen. Because he went outside and he sat at his car doing blood spatter mitigation before getting into it. Had he seen her and he knew that she saw him, he would have just got the hell out of Dodge, because he would expect her to be calling 911 immediately, but he didn't. He was outside, I think, for 2.5, 3 minutes. He did not leave, and we know this because even at 2:19, Bethany and Dylan are talking to each other. They knew he'd already left. But my opinion is the knife sheath was left as a calling card. It's not going to shock me if they don't think that's what that is, or maybe it wasn't. He could have left it there accidentally. My whole argument is that they only found one single source of DNA on the sheath, and it was in a little hidden spot underneath the button snap that he must have missed when he cleaned the knife sheath for leaving it there. Like, he was going to leave it there, but he missed it. He missed that spot. Hey, thanks, Ted Bundy. He said he stabbed Xan and Ethan, one upstairs. Yeah. But I thought that Madison Mogan was the target. Yeah, that was a long time. I didn't change the story. I changed my theory. But I thought that Madison Mogan was the target, but he attacked Xana and Ethan first in one of my theories, because when he came in, so look at it like this. Let's say that there is the DoorDash delivery, right? Well, you know, come on. I said before, you didn't listen to my theory before, MW. I can just tell you, because my theory before was that Madison Mogen was the intended target. However, when he came into the house, let's say he came into the house a little later, like at 4:12. Well, that's right when Xana was using TikTok, and maybe she's like in the kitchen doing something with the DoorDash delivery, and he comes in, and then the murders happen between. Because if you remember recently, law enforcement said the murders could have happened in 2 to 4 minutes. 4 would be slow. Okay, so 5 minutes would be from 4:12 to 4:17. And so that would be crazy, because if he got in there at 4:12, that means Xana could be up and about, moving around with the DoorDash delivery, her TikTok, and then that's sort of, he attacks them first, then he goes upstairs. But, you know, the more, you know, like, I think law enforcement believes that he went upstairs first. But that was my theory. All right, so, you know, I don't know if you were paying attention at the time when I actually went over the whole thing. Yeah, because even in that theory, Madison was the target. I'm just saying that Xana and Ethan got attacked first because they were out and about moving around. Right. He knew Xana was awake. Well, I mean, he was driving around. He was looking at the DoorDash. He probably knew that was on a different side of the house. I think the sliding glass door was broken. Either he broke it as he was entering, or it was already broken. But we know it was broken because law enforcement used chairs to lock it. But hey, guys, we're having one of those lulls again. So if you guys are out there and you can help support the channel, that'd be great. All right, let's see. Sources close to the investigation told Dateline they believe Mogen may have been the killer's intended target because the intruder had gone directly upstairs. That kind of matches what Steve Gonzalez said when he said he didn't have to go upstairs, but I think he thought maybe Kaylee was the target because she was hit more, but I think it was just Madison Mogen. And especially if you take a look at, let me see if it's this one, or I think right over here. I mean, this is where you'd park. You can see right into Madison Mogen's window right there. Like if you were parked right here or there, every time he does that loop, he could just drive around, stop here, and look into that window there. And it was probably the light was on for a while, because remember when he wasn't around at that time because he didn't get there till 3:30, but I'm just wondering if the lights might have still been on for a while in that room. And then they finally turned off probably maybe around 3:50 something. And so maybe on that last pass he sees that the lights are off, but he's going to give it a little bit more time, and to control his urges he has to drive away a certain distance and then he comes back again. Ah, jeez, Jason, you're an idiot. If you watch that channel, you're one of the dumbest people on the planet. All right. Let's see. Whatever the order, his plan went sideways quickly. What do you mean, our new interview? What the hell are you talking about, Jason? Jeez, these people are Looney Tunes. Probably drove back after killing to recover. No. Nope, Michael, that's not why I drove back. I don't know how many times people are going to keep saying this over and over and over again. He didn't drive back to look for the sheath. If he drove back to look for the sheath and there was no police at the time, he would have been seen on the 1112 King Road camera. He would have driven in. Okay, he would have driven in and drove by at least to look. He didn't do any of that. Okay, it's just amazing how we just keep hearing the same thing over and over again. I think he drove by to observe, and maybe he thought maybe he could have done a search or something, but he just drove by to, I mean, I say search, I mean a search for, is there activity, is there an arrest made, or anything like that. Right. Hey, thanks Tumbleweed and Austin Huber. The perpetrator turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed, and carved Chapin's lower leg with blade. Now, new info. Let me see. The perpetrator turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed, and cut his leg. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure what that means, but bed and carved Chapin's lower leg with a blade. So he was bleeding, and that's when he said, "Hey, it's okay, I'm here to help." You know, so that is interesting. We had talked about that before, that he may have attacked Ethan first, and then maybe Xana was in a bathroom or something and came out, and he's bleeding, and he goes, "Hey, no, I'm here to help," making it seem like he's here to help Ethan bleeding, and then attacks Xana right after that. Ethan isn't mentioned as much on the attacks. Could he have been the first of BK's? Yeah, I mean, I had a theory a long time ago that Xana and Ethan were attacked first because of the situation that they were awake at the time, and it makes more sense with the, "Hey, it's okay, I'm here to help you," or "I'm going to help you," you know, that comment. Hey, thanks, Momosaurus 64 and Ted Bundy again. He keep putting different pictures in over and over and over again. Do we have any coffees tonight? Man, 0 coffees again. We're gonna have to get that moving. Here we go. I'm here to help. Sounds like they're, yeah, that's what I've said 100 times. They're already injured. When you say it's okay, I'm here to help, it sounds like, to me, like Xana got attacked already and she was bleeding, but it's still alive. And that's my theory was this, that he came inside the house, Xana and Ethan were attacked first because they were awake and somehow, you know, distracted, you know, got his attention, and he attacked them. And Xana was still alive, but he didn't know that. So then he goes upstairs and he kills Madison and Kaylee, and on the way down he hears the whimpering sound, and then he goes over there, and it's Xana maybe even trying to stand to, you know, get out, and he says, "Hey, it's okay, I'm here to help," and then he attacks her again, and then there's a thud sound, and then he leaves the house at that point. That was like the original theory. Oh, come on, Von Dawson. I've said it a million times on here. But yes, great minds. How did the disable Ethan so fast? Yeah, well, he was sleeping and he was drunk. Hey, thanks Purple Mountain and Ted Bundy for the coffee, the only one so far. All right, let's get back to the that article. The tan leather sheath for a large K-bar knife was found on the bed next to Mogan's body. And remember, he bought a K-bar knife of the exact same make and model on Amazon in late March of 2022, closer to April. And then it says the investigative sources also said Kernodle, who was still up after ordering food from DoorDash, was attacked next. Wait, hold on. Do they have an order here? Sources close to the investigation told Dateline they believe Mogan may have been the killer's intended target because the intruder had gone directly upstairs. Okay. To her bedroom where Gonzalez was with her. Then it said, the investigator source also said Kernodle, who was still up after ordering food from DoorDash, was attacked next. All right, and that's where we've gone lately in this theory, is that, you know, it wasn't Xana and Ethan first. It would be that he was upstairs, and that's where Xana could hear, or maybe even went up and said, hey, there's somebody here. You know, who knows? Was attacked next. Then sources said the perpetrator turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed, and carved Chapin's lower leg with a blade. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. So, but why, I don't understand that. Like, how did that kill him? Austin Huber, please review NBC article. I'm looking at it right now. This is the NBC article I'm looking at. At least this one right here. I'll look up the one that you're saying, but I think that's this one. Right? Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. Look. That's what I'm looking at. I've been reading it the whole time. The investigative source also said Kernodle was still up and ordering food from DoorDash, was attacked next. Then the sources said the perpetrator turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed, and carved Chapin's lower legs with a blade. Maybe he just bled to death. Data from Kohberger's phone indicates it had been turned off. And you know what? That's interesting that he attacked his legs to make him immobile. Like, here's a guy. I need to make him immobile first, and then I can easily take him out. 3 a.m. on the morning of the murders, it connected with a cell tower south of Moscow. Data from Kohberger's phone indicates it had been turned off before 3 a.m. at 2:54 on the morning of the murders. It connected with a cell tower south of Moscow at 4:48 near Blaine. Records show. About 90 minutes later, the phone's records indicate a call was made in Pullman area to another phone. 90 minutes later, to yeah, this is the one at 6:17, to a number registered to an account belonging to Kohberger's father. It appears several family phones, including his mother's, are on that account. At least 3 calls were made to that same number that morning. Data shows the phone was briefly back in Moscow just after 9 a.m. Right. Yeah, like 9:12 it spotted the. Before prosecutors say Kohberger returned to, well, let's, you know, they're leaving out a bunch of crap. So let's go look at this. So this is the reality. At 9 o'clock, this is the blue here is CAS data. CAS data showed that he was leaving the area of his residence. Then at 9:12, the phone is in Moscow. CAS showed the phone utilized same sources as 1122 King Road. Maybe he's within 100 yards. I don't know. But then also at 9:12, a camera. 9:12, almost 9. Let's just say 9:13. A camera at that same A&W picks up the vehicle driving south on Highway 95, and then at 9:21 the vehicle's back in Pullman, and then 9:32 it's returning to the area of his house. You see how that's just incredible? Like this right here is incredibly damning. There's multiple times where cast and a sighting match up. Do you guys care about that? Because nobody's responding to what I'm showing you right here. It's just, come on, you guys. Jesus. It's unreal. Anyways, the data shows the phone was briefly back in Moscow just after 9 a.m. I just explained the actual detail of that. Before prosecutors say Kohberger returned to his apartment in Pullman where he took a selfie at 10:31 a.m. with a thumbs up pose in the bathroom mirror. And that's this one right here. Yay! Okay. It's just, come on, you guys. Like when we're going over something, I'll try to focus on that instead of talking about some other adjacent topic when we're literally, this is like what we're trying to figure out right here. In the days after the murders, there was browsing activity on Kohberger's phone that law enforcement would later collect forensically. One Google search was for University of Idaho murders. Wow. So in the days after the murders, there was browsing activity on Kohberger's phone that law enforcement would later collect forensically. Thank you, Allie Cake. One Google search was for University of Idaho murders. Other searches were for a program about serial killer Ted Bundy. And guess what, you guys? I made a video comparing Kohberger to Ted Bundy 5 days after he was arrested, almost 2 years ago. University of Idaho murders. Other searches were for a program about serial killer Bundy and a YouTube video about the King Road victims. Man, it makes you wonder. Kind of thinking about Papa Rogers at this point. By mid-December, Kohberger would return to his family home in Pennsylvania, with police in Moscow still not confirming publicly whether they had a suspect. The one critical clue they solicited the public's help for was information on a car, what they believed to be a white Elantra, seen in the area around the time of the killings. But investigators did have other evidence that they say pointed them to Kohberger, including DNA on the knife sheath found in Mogen's bedroom. Let's see. But investigators did have other evidence, not one, other evidence that pointed them to Kohberger, including DNA on the knife sheath found in Mogen's bedroom next to her right side. Authorities used genetic genealogy to source the DNA 2 days after Christmas in 2022. Investigators covertly pulled trash from outside this will lead to his father, outside the Kohberger's home for testing. According to the prosecutor, the DNA turned out to be a statistical match. That's not accurate in this article. It turned out to be a match to his father, which, obviously he's the son. When I say match to the father, it wasn't a complete match. It was the DNA was consistent with being the father of the contributor to the DNA on the knife sheath. Does that make sense? In the meantime, the search history on Kohberger's phone would show more videos of Ted Bundy, the song Criminal by Britney Spears, and additional selfies, including Kohberger wearing a black hoodie like how Bundy was dressed in a program viewed on YouTube. I've never seen Bundy dressed like that. Then on December 30th, after 1 a.m., so that was December 28th, that picture there. At 1 a.m., law enforcement agents descended on the family home with a warrant for Kohberger's arrest. If found guilty, he could face the death penalty, which his lawyers successfully argued should be ruled out because he has autism. Kohberger has not spoken publicly in the case, but in a recent court filing, his lawyers offered a glimpse into his demeanor when he was arrested. He asked the officer about his education and suggested that they get coffee at a later date. He did not perceive the profoundly serious nature of the moment and exhibited no perception of what was happening. I think that's part of being a sociopath. You're just like, yeah, oh well. Killed people, schmilled people. I think I have it on somewhere in here. I think it's this one. Yeah, so I actually found that in one of the documents that they're talking about. Hey, thanks, Tina Humphrey. Prayers for all the families as they face the gruesome details. Yep. Well, the thing is I checked it in, and I guess the judge hasn't decided whether he's streaming this or not. And I think if they're not streaming it, the trial will probably be limited to, like, the family or something. I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty wild. I think he will allow it. I think he'll just not allow some of the stuff to be streamed. Or, you know, like somebody's face won't be on there. You'll hear the audio. Finally, the state argues that Mr. Kohberger is competent, and for that reason, Atkins does not apply. Competent, well, let's just go down here. By way of example, when he was arrested in his home with a full SWAT team, doors broken, and parents were zip-tied, he made small talk with the detective in the back of the car during the ride to the police station. He asked the officer about his education and suggested that they get coffee at a later date. He did not perceive the profoundly serious nature of the moment and exhibited no perception of what was happening. So there you go. Hey, Plato. Not Plato, but Plato, like Aristotle and Socrates. Don't you guys think it'll be streamed? I mean, that would be a really... I mean, in this case, dwarfs Delphi. Delphi was different because those are little kids that they didn't want that out. I just can't imagine it not being at least partially streamed. Pulled over for following too close. Yeah, twice. So I think that's it. Let's see what the comments say. A new video emerges, allegedly shows suspect Brian Kohberger's movements. Yeah, 338.38. So on my thing, 338.38 is vehicle matching description of vehicle 1 is seen southbound on King Road turning east. So that means on my map, that's probably about right here, right in this area, and then it's going to come around. Well, if it's 330, 338, what does it do next? No, it was 338.38. So then at 339.06, you see it come back around here. A second, right back, right here, right as it's turning that corner, 339.06. Then it comes back over here, headlights hit this building, and then it parks for maybe 30 seconds on that one. We don't know. I haven't seen it yet, Plato, because I live on... You could see it on your part of the country, but I live on the West Coast, so it doesn't start here for another hour and 50 minutes. So for the people watching it out there, I think it's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, it probably has a lot of stuff in it. Thank you, Joni Jackson. You notice I never got a question for... I'm confused about the timeline and never got a reply. Yeah, not one. I mean, how can you have a problem with the timeline when I have this? Look at this. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, I have stuff that's just random here. I might even add stuff in. If we ever get dates for different things, I can put them in there, but I don't have it. It's over with for me. I'll have to watch it in the app. Oh yeah, I have that app too. I thought it was supposed to be like right away be on the app. It started at 6 o'clock East Coast time, and that was an hour and 11 minutes ago. Yeah. I don't know. Then go watch it, Cindy. I'm just over here. That would be insane. This, come on. Have you watched it yet, Cindy? It's 2 hours. Yeah, it's a 2-hour show, so it's going to be pretty in-depth. Thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. Yeah, I'm sure there's people that normally watch right now are watching that. I just don't have any way to... If you find something like that, Cindy, let me know. Like somebody that's got a direct... Like tweet, and then I can go back and read it. I mean, I don't... You know, my thing is I'm going to watch it regardless, even if I know what's happening, because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be surveillance. Hopefully they put the entire surveillance shots, not the stupid... I don't understand how these people don't get it, man. The cross dissolve. Well, here it was going this way, and look at it goes this way again. No, let's get the actual full footage of it. Yeah. I'm coming back here on the commercials. So what do you think of it so far, Naomi? You like it? We're currently at about 70%, 60% of the goal, you guys. So if you're out there and you like the content over here, that'd be great. Creepy selfie. Yeah, it's really disturbing, the one where he looks like he's the Grim Reaper. I saw the Keith Morrison interview on East Idaho News. Did he actually say the word that the full surveillance will be in the special? I didn't hear that when I watched it. He just said that they have the timeline. That'd be great, though. But they got this information from the FBI's investigation, not the... like the Idaho police did not do that. Oh, they played the audio from 1112? Really? Oh, man. Man, I gotta go listen to that. Could you hear anything? I know Steve Gonzalez has heard it. You said you could hear stuff. What did it sound like to you when you heard it? Gonna roast tomorrow, though. I'm actually recording it, so... The FBI released it, that's why. Okay, but could you hear the thud sound? I mean, could you hear the whimpering? Like, what does it sound like? Shit, I guess we'll just have to hear it. Your descriptions are terrible. A whimpering and then a barking. Yeah, you mean like the probable cause document stated. If you're going to record it, Mr. Gray, we can watch it with you. Well, no, we can't watch. I can't play. There's no way in hell I could play a special like that on the show. No chance. I was just going to like maybe have some audio up there, and I would pay to watch the one episode, but I can't even find a way to do that. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. You know, like that idiot YouTuber who took my animation of my car driving around, and I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna go give that guy a strike." He deleted the video and then uploaded another video with that missing from it. What a loser! Jesus, it's unreal what people do on YouTube. They can't create their own content, so they just steal. Yeah, we'll get great. Yeah, there's no way I'm playing that on here. Yeah. But hey, if you're out there and you find I don't know if Cindy's out there. If you do find, maybe we can do the tweet thing. You know what's weird about it is it wasn't like well publicized, because they just started publicizing this like yesterday or something. All right, how do we get the goal going here, you guys? We're still like at 60%. We've got 600 and something people watching. Should be really easy to reach the goal here tonight. And there's Naomi helped out right there with 5 memberships to Pamela Swan, Queen Bee, Wendy Van Rokel, Dr. Revo, and Sandra M. Usually Keith Morrison does it live. Just makes comments here and there, but I'm looking. That's right, Plato. Hey, Plato, you know what? Why don't you on your own reach out to that Vermont case? You know, can you do that? Remember how you were kind of into that, maybe writing a letter, and we got to do that one. I don't give a damn. We just need to have the body exhumed and more different bones collected and see if we can get something. We have this one case that we were looking at because we actually have a fund that we've put over $100,000 in for identifying Jane and John Doe's crime victims, etc. This is one that has a mother and 2 kids wrapped up in an awning from 1930 something, and it's be great to at least identify them, and then you'd know that who the killer was, likely because there was no husband there, and they were never reported missing or anything. But we can't get enough DNA. We tried, but I think they could go in. They only had a few bones to try from, but there's way more bones in the ground there. Feels like they should be able to do it. You should do it, Plato. Just on a rare random time, write a letter to the coroner over there. Maybe they've switched coroner, and let them know, hey, we want to do this. What's Jeepers? What? Hey, thanks, Von Dazen and Naomi. Can give us an update with... Well, she doesn't... Oh, yeah. Well, she might be able to get that information. But we definitely have 2 of the cases that we have been following are funded now. I mean, they're not... I don't mean funded. They're funded by us, but they have DNA samples that worked. So one of them is one where I actually helped find where the body was buried in a cemetery based on one old photograph from like 1960 or maybe 70 something in a cemetery. It was black and white picture, and I just used sort of the same technique that I always use, and they were able to find it. And now they've got DNA, and they're going to identify it was a torso that was buried in that one. But anyways... so what's going on? What's being said out there? I don't mind having spoilers. You know, I'm going to watch the whole damn thing myself. Where does it say that? That he chased Xana? Where does it say that? From where? Where did he chase Xana from? That's where he lived. Ted Bundy lived there. Yep. 1620 Sheridan Avenue, Tacoma. I think I remember that. I have it in my... I bet you if I type in right here, 1620, watch this. 1620. I don't know. There was some stuff I lost a ton of. Bundy. Let's see. I'm not sure. I have the whole thing on him now. Look how I did an entire series. We went through all the newspaper articles. Really crazy. That's when he lived in... Yeah, I don't know. I remember having that, but I don't have it anymore. He chased Xana. What do you mean it did say? He chased Xana from the 3rd floor. Really? Wow. So that was her up there then. So that's one of the things we've talked about on here is, like, did Xana go upstairs? And we just said at the beginning of the show even. And then he chased her down. And that's when she was up there. She said, hey, there's somebody here. And then he chased her down. Is that what they're saying? Man, that's crazy. I mean, that's absolutely wild. And those are the investigators that have the forensic information to back up that information. Yeah, that's the thing. Is maybe that's right. I was just about to say that a minute ago, but then I interrupted myself. But if Dylan said she saw one of the girls coming down, but apparently she mentioned somebody that couldn't have been Xana, because that person was found dead in a bed, and Xana was on the floor. And her feet were facing the door. She was on the floor. I think I have it right here. Yeah, like she's on the floor, but her feet are facing the door there. I haven't updated that one yet. Like that, but her feet were facing this direction, and her head was towards that wall over there. Thanks, Ted Bundy. Right, and then right there is where Dylan's room is, and those are the stairs. So he must have chased her all the way back into the room. And then, well, didn't they say that Xana was attacked first? Oh. Shows suspect. Okay, that's not. Oh, that's different. Let me open that up again. Yep, you guys, we're still not even at the goal with this many people watching. Should be really simple. So if you're out there, every night on this channel we try to raise funds to help support my channel and to allow us to give at the end of the month. We are, you guys are the sole source of the income on these live streams, and that's it. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Cindy. Type in a full sentence, then I would know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Okay, let's see down here. It said, look at what? What are you talking about, Cindy? You just wasted my time again. Type in the sentence. You do this all the time. It just drives me nuts. And sat in her chair in her bedroom after the murders. Really? Wow. For how long? So you think they were all killed by like 4... Well, no, the whimpering sound was 4:17. Dog barking from the neighbor's camera. Right. Well, why didn't you just type that in again, Cindy? Then I could read it with your writing instead of look at. I can't find them up there. It's too much. Let's see. Investigator source said Kernodle, who was still up after ordering food from the DoorDash, was attacked next. Then the source said the perpetrator turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed. Hey, thanks, Sean Ellis. I know, just when you have something like that, Sandy, just next time just type it in your sentence, because you do that a lot, and it really gets frustrating, because then I don't even know what you're referring to or anything. But you're like, look at what? Look at what? I don't even know what you're saying or anything. Like, explain it, or he carved something. They just said he carved his legs, meaning like he cut it, like, you know. I mean, I don't think it means he carved a name or something. He could have. Maybe he did that after. Says, turned to her boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep in bed, and carved Chapin's lower legs with a blade. Okay, so that's what I said, perpetrator turned to the boyfriend, who was believed to be asleep. So did he like stab and kill him and then carve something into his legs? Yeah, so we're not getting the whole picture there. Thank you, Harry, me boy. Yeah, I think we all thought there'd be a lot more stuff going on that we know about. But he sat in her chair. How do they know that? That he sat in her chair? There's no DNA other than the DNA on the knife sheath. They find footprints and blood below the seat. There's the phone number right there. Not one freak has texted Ted Bundy. Yeah, I do think it's trustworthy. I think it came from the FBI directly. And since they've got the video from the FBI, that means they're inside. They got it. Would be surprised if he carved the letter K. Now, I wonder what the Kohbergers are going to say here. A bloody imprint on the chair of what? Thank you, Anthony Gomez. I can't get NBC Dateline tonight. I don't know what you're talking about, Luke. I wonder if he looked at their phones. Dateline must be different in the time zones. Mine is talking about the parents' house. Yeah, they start at different times. Ethan was killed asleep by hitting a main artery. Okay, that's what I was wondering. The lower legs, right? He got by cutting his arteries in his legs, right? And it also probably immobilized him. I mean, it's interesting that he would go after the legs first, but he probably thought, ooh, if I get his legs, he won't be able to move. In case he attacks me, then I can get him. He called his dad a few times. Conversation. Yeah, there's one at 6:17. 35-minute call, 6:30. 6:17 is like the screenshot they had. I'm sure it's not a legitimate screenshot. They just set up a phone to make it look like it because it was moving. It was like a video type. I mean, it was like filming a screen on a phone call. It wasn't something Kohberger actually had. I bet those calls to his dad are why the dad... Yeah. Well, he didn't get there for a long time, though, right? When did Kohberger start his drive back? It was in December sometime. Yeah. And then after he called his dad, he got up in the morning and drove back out there. We probably tried to sleep for a couple hours. Then I want to know what he was doing between 5:30 and like 8:40, like 9 o'clock when he headed back over there. We know that he took that one photograph, 10 something. So he talks to his dad at 6:17. And then he does a selfie at 10:31, I think it was. Well, it's already huge. BMS. It's not something we got to wait for it to start. South over some bridge, over a river that morning. Where does it say that, Paige? We know that he went down here to, like right in this area, down to Clarkston and Lewiston. So I think it's like, let's see. I think it's Clarkston, Washington is where he was over here. That's not where he was. I'm just trying to get an address. Screw it. I have to turn it all on down there because it's kind of in a... Let's see, where's the... Oh yeah, I think it's just right here, right? Right there. I think. That's the Costco. And then I think... right there. Okay, that's where it is, right there. That's Kate's Cup of Joe. So he came in here, he went to this Costco first and was refused after going to this Costco, so he drove out, then he drove through this parking lot at Kate's Cup of Joe, then he did a U-turn and came out like this, then he drove down just like this into the Albertsons parking lot, and he parked over here, and then he walked in, and then he purchased some items, and then he left, came out, and then he drove away, and then there's like, no, we don't have any more information on that. But hey, you guys, we're having these massive lulls in here tonight. So we need to try to get the support for the channel up, because we're still, believe it or not even at the goal yet. And we need another, let's see, like 10 memberships or something for me to be able to gift the 5 that I usually give out when we reach the goal. The blood was on the chair from his butt. That's what they said? The blood is on the chair from his butt? I mean, how is blood on his butt? I mean, that's just weird. Yeah, if we could only identify his butt from the print. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch this. I mean, this is something I really wanted to watch, but haven't been able to. Because it's not on yet. It's on here in an hour and 25 minutes. Well, there's one by Alley Cake right there. There's Ted Bundy. That's basically 2. A not weird blood spouts. Huh? What a weird comment, man. It doesn't go behind somebody. Really? So when you're watching the show, is it my stuff about the Elantra is right on the money, isn't it? I mean, like, it's 100%. That's why I've been telling people it's one of the most important elements. Even Keith said that. He said, yeah, the Elantra is really pretty much like the massive... I've been really... that's why I've been covering it so much over the years. People go, Gray, you keep covering the Elantra, you bastard. Why do you keep covering the Elantra, Gray? Because the Elantra is a provable thing that you can keep building on. I mean, we've absolutely dialed that in over time, and it's. I said the other day, and I think it's true, that if you had the knife sheath on the bed with no DNA on it, and you had all the other information, you could have a much stronger case than if you only had the knife sheath with DNA and you had no white elantra. That would be like you could sell the, well, it's just touch DNA because there's no evidence he was even here or anything. And then you have the cell phone. Sure, you could make the argument like, well, his cell phone turned off and then it turned back on near Blaine. But other than that, the cell phone ties the white elantra ties everything together. That's what makes the case. It's huge, massive. Hey, pets left behind. I didn't ask. See, why do you say, but there is DNA, Gray? I'm just telling you a question here. You know, what are you doing? I said that if you didn't have the knife sheath with DNA on it, you could make a strong case without that. You just had the sheath, for example. Then you could link in the purchase on Amazon and all that stuff. That'd be great. But when you do have the DNA on it, when you put it all together, it's absolutely, hey, pets left behind. I'm just giving a question, man. I've done it before. I don't need your little back and forth, like, well, Gray, there was DNA. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm saying I'm giving you the choice in this scenario. If you could choose one, I would choose to have no DNA on the knife sheath and all the rest of the information over a knife sheath with the DNA on it and no elantra at all. Now, if you were missing the sheath, then it'd be tough to even sort of bring in, well, he bought a K-bar. I mean, because you wouldn't know that it was a K-bar knife sheath. Ah, Jesus. My God, man. Get a brain. Hey, thanks, Kimberly Gabalden. Thank you, Allie Cake. Totally of the evidence is a slam. Yeah, but when you put it all together, that's what makes it a slam dunk, because the, as I've said probably 17,000 times, the DNA on the knife sheath validates and proves that the white elantra driving around, missing its front license plate, it's unreasonable to believe that's somebody else's vehicle, because it's during a 13-minute window that white elantra, which Keith Morrison absolutely repeated. I've said this literally 1,000 times on the show, but you have their producers that watch all of our stuff. For 13 minutes of time, that vehicle was stopped and parked behind 1122 King Road. And that's when all the murders happened. And inside that window, a K-bar knife sheath was left with Brian Kohberger's DNA on it. A knife sheath that he likely purchased in March of 2022, just 7 months or so prior to the homicides. Then he also purchased a balaclava, the same look that Dylan Mortensen saw on the killer, along with a bushy eyebrow, and had the same build and the same height as Kohberger. It just goes on and on and on and on. Okay, there is no lime green elantra associated with this case, like all the nut jobs are talking about. All the pro-burgers are like an amoeba. They all follow around doing the same thing, copying each other over and over and over and over again. Like one of them says, ooh, green, ooh, let's do that one too. Hey, how was his video on the lime green elantra? Well, we showed yesterday that it's a white car at the 4 o'clock time frame. It's not a green. And by the way, it is true. Okay, it is true that if you have a lime green vehicle, that it might show up as white on night vision. However, we just showed yesterday that wasn't a night vision shot, because there's a red tail light. That wouldn't show up that way. It would show up as black or white on night vision. It wouldn't have a color on it. Well, that's a good point, Gray. Let me see what else coming. Thanks, Kimberly Gabalden. Yeah, it was apparently, if you have the lime green has these certain sort of characteristics of the paint that on night vision it might appear lighter. Okay, I did read about it. It was in Chat GPT or something. However, that's a white car, and it's filmed without night vision because of the red light you can see on it. You see? So it's definitely not green, because that would have picked that color up, because it wasn't using night vision that could make something that was lime green appear white. See, they don't care about that kind of stuff though when you bring it up. You know, that completely debunks their lime green theory. Who cares, Scarlett? So, Gray, why the 8-hour delay in calling 911? Ooh. Oh, they just didn't want to go up and verify that somebody got killed. They knew something weird happened that night, kind of creepy. They didn't go upstairs, and it wasn't until they got a friend to go upstairs. They looked into, the hunter saw the bodies and then said, get out, get out. Then they called 911. Then they all were made to go upstairs again. Then Hunter saw the bodies again and knew it was really bad and said, you know, get out, get out, get out again. They go downstairs. You know, it's just so obvious to rational-minded people. But when people want it to be something more, they keep asking. If I had $1, actually, if every one of us in here had $1 for every time somebody goes, why the 8-hour delay, Gray? Why didn't they call 9? We'd be millionaires. I mean, it's just every single day. And then you ask these same people, hey, do you think that Dylan and Bethany are involved? No. Then I go, well, then why do you keep asking that question? Because if you don't think they're involved, it's irrelevant, right? Now, if you think they're involved, then sure, it's a relevant question for you to discuss amongst your pro-burger nutjob friends, okay? But we don't do that here because there's absolutely no connection between Brian Kohberger, Dylan Mortensen, and Bethany Funk. They were freaked out. You can hear it in the 911 calls, the text messages. They were freaked out. What's going on? They tried to get a hold of their roommates. Okay? Now, you can come up with any reasons. I mean, Steve thinks that maybe because they were drinking, they didn't want cops to come over, etc. You know, things like that. Man, it just gets so old and tiresome. Unbelievable. Because Dylan was drunk, she only saw Xana on the floor. No, she only saw Xana on the floor because that's the only person that was visible. That's not because she was drunk. Yeah, she ran across the hall, as we have in this picture right here. Let's go back up to this one. I think Ethan was found on the bed, and so I think I'm right? Isn't that what the law enforcement said? Because look at not this. This is Dylan's room. Let me go back over here. I'm gonna go into the room. Right here. I think this is almost exactly how it was set up, except her legs are facing the hallway. I think I've had Ethan on this bed for a long time, and I think the blood that's outside on the wall is Ethan's blood. I've said that for a long time. It sucks, but I think that's the reality of it. I think he's right here, and Xana's legs are facing that way, and she's like that. And Dylan didn't see Ethan because he's not visible from the hallway, just as, by the way, police said. They said when they walked up, they were in the hallway, they could see a bathroom, and they could see a body on the ground that turned out to be Xana Kernodle. Then when entering the room, we could see Ethan Chapin. Okay, so how come that part is never remembered by people? It's really... Come on, you guys, let's keep moving forward on this stuff. Bundy's sending videos now. Not sure. I'm not going to play a video on here. Alright guys, we're still way short on the memberships. We need another 7. So if you guys can do that, then I can donate the 5. He tried to order another knife on Amazon in the morning. In the same morning? Like the next morning? On the 14th? He tried to order another knife on Amazon in or the same morning, like the 13th. I mean, that's incredibly damning. If the Kohbergers don't understand that. Wait, what morning are you referring to? If it's the same morning, I mean, even if it's the next morning, it's bad. But if he's ordering a sheath or an what did a knife or Jesus. Come on, you guys. Got to get to the goals. The only real problem I have is if all the blood was there was a trail of blood. What's the problem with that? What do you mean the only problem you have? I don't know what that means. Wow, there you go. Timothy Cecil just got off of work, he said. If the Kohbergers right now, if they're told that, I want to see what the answer is up there. Yeah, let's see. Did we get the answer to the question? About that he bought, or he tried to buy another K-bar knife in the morning? Where's this said? God, I can't stand it when people they just type something in and then you never hear from them again. It's probably why he called his dad, because the guy that by now on Amazon order didn't go through. We don't even know what you're talking about, man. No idea what you're referring to. Sorry, I was trying to get the TV on ready for later. But apparently there's a... Oh, who won the game, by the way? Or the earlier one? Hopefully Cleveland. Jesus, you guys. You said up above, he tried to buy another K-bar earlier in the AM. Do we have an answer? Are you talking about on the 13th, literally the same morning? Ah, jeez. Okay. Well, somebody up above said AM. The same morning. Are you sure about that? Seriously? That's crazy. Man. Oh, good. Cleveland won. Good. Oh, man. Are you serious? That he tried to buy... We tried to buy a K-bar the same morning. So that would actually make it seem like he left it there accidentally. In my opinion. Or he just wants to make sure he has a replacement one, so it looks like, you know, I don't know, but it sort of leans a little bit in a way where he's like, oh, bad, I gotta get another one before, because God, if the Kohbergers don't see, if that's a real thing, and they're out there going, well, maybe he just needed another one, Gray. Wow, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Brian Kohberger, the man with 1,000 K-bar knives. His Amazon said he even clicked buy now to purchase a new one, then quickly canceled before then searching how to delete history. So he canceled the order? Why did he do that? Is that another one of his places he lived, Ted Bundy? It was the landlord guy this whole time. Yeah, the guy that came out and tried to attack me. Yeah. The morning he called his dad, the morning of the murders. Yeah, I know that he called his dad. Yeah. At like 6:17. So maybe that is why he called his dad. Maybe something was... Well, he just canceled it, though. He could have hit the button. But it might have been... You know what it was? I know what the problem was. I know exactly what the problem was. So he was about to order a K-bar knife and it was going to be sent to his dad. And he wouldn't be there. Then he's like, oh shit, that's going to go sent over there. And then he's like, well, hell, I don't want to change it to here because then that would lead right to this address. And then, he was having his mind was messed up. He's going to send a K-bar knife to his dad way over there. I heard you couldn't get the original sheath on his own. Speculation what, April? What the hell are you talking? Are you a Kohberger, April? He doesn't need or want. Of course, it's speculation, but it's based on the facts. I don't know about you, but I don't listen to the clowns or the UK guy when they speculate. You guys never say that to them. You guys ever notice that the Kohbergers, when they come in here, they always come in here, and if I'm speculating based on the facts, they get all, up in a bunch. But when they're watching their favorite YouTubers, the clown and the UK idiot, they'll always sit there and go, wow, that's really interesting. Ooh, that is great. Wow. Ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, just April, just get the hell out of here, man. You're boring. You come in here and you start, that's speculation. I'm not a Kohberger. Shut the hell up. My God. It's just, people are so easy to weed out. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Probably will in time, but it may be. And now we'll hear a whining comment next. Here it comes. Why did he do an Aaron Hernandez and spit out some bubble gum? Why didn't he? I don't know. Do you get it in 7 minutes, Gray? Do you get it in... What do you mean? I don't know what that means, Cindy. No, I do not get it in 7 minutes. I get it in an hour. It sucks. If I lived in Nyssa, Oregon, I could probably watch that. What am I looking at, Jess? I came in at a bad time. Nah, you came in. Well, somebody goes, all I said was, I think Kohberger came home and he canceled buying it, the K-bar knife sheath, that same morning. I don't know if you just came in, M10, but look, check this out. Apparently, Kohberger tried to purchase another K-bar knife the same morning when he gets back to his apartment or something, right? And then I said, man, I bet you he realized, holy crap, if I order this, it'll get sent to my dad's house. But maybe he was talking to his dad about it or something. But then he didn't want to send it to his own house, his apartment, because then that would lead to him a purchase, and he wasn't sure how the investigation would go. And then that's speculation, Gray. That's speculation. Well, of course it's speculation. That's what we all do in here. I just do mine reasonably. I don't go, ooh, you know what? It probably happened? An alien spacecraft probably flew over his head, and he looked out and he goes, ooh, I'm not going to buy it now. I might get abducted. And then it'll just be sitting here. So you could have a backup. It's 2 hour long, right? Yeah, it's 2 hours long. All right, good night, Child of the King 23. He can't get another one sent to Dad. Why not? It was 2 days after the murder he tried to buy it. Okay, he went back, so it was 2 days later. That's still really damning, right? I mean, 2 days later, he's trying to buy another K-bar knife sheath. Not 2 days before, but it's 2 days after. It's not quite as like a zinger. All right, so it's 2 days later. See how people put in false information in the chat, but 2 days later is still really damning, don't you think? You're gifting 5 more, Sean? Sweet. Yeah, we still need 5 more gifted memberships. He clicked buy it now, but didn't finish the checkout process. Right. But he did that 2 days later, right, Hannah? Hey, thanks, Sean Ellis. Look at that. And why don't the rest of you guys get on the gifting membership train? I'm going to do... it sucks. I used to be able to do it from right here, but I can't anymore. It's wild. I used to be able to buy it right from this pop-out. But I cannot do that. So I'm going to have to go out to YouTube. Oh, I know I can do it if I hit share. And then I click on that link. Should put I can do if I hit share. There it is. And then go over here. Yeah, there's Jess gifted one that I'm going to gift 5 right now. Here we go. Oh, there's M10. Look at that. So I'm doing 5. Should show up there in a second. All right. Very cool. I'm looking. Oh, was that Sean Ellis again? Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wow. A lot of new members in here tonight. Make sure to stay members after this. I know that a lot of times the pro burgers show up and they get the free memberships, but not all the time. I think 70% aren't, so that's good. Look at all those. We've got Mags, Gomez, Colleen, XX, County, Mel, Grit Sass. Thank you for all the gifting. Yeah, all the people gifting, yeah. Look at that. Candalee Woodward Stone. I haven't seen you in a million years again. About what, Becky? Is anybody going to say anything about what? These people just type in random sentences and I have no clue what they're talking about. Does anybody say anything about it? About what? I love having membership with your channel. I watch all your videos. I need to fill my brain full of factual stuff. Cool. Yeah, we have a really great timeline here. I should just start saying stuff the same way. Like, wow, can you guys believe that? And then just sit there and go. And then you'll say, believe that about what, Gray? What do you mean? What happened? What happened? What happened? And I can just pretend that I can't hear anybody. Yee-hoo! Look at Tin Buddy, my goodness, he lived in a lot of places, didn't he? He did. You'd get more views that way. Great. Let's see. He made 3 calls to his dad that morning. Now, what do you think that's all about? 3 calls to his dad. Who the hell calls their dad 3 times in a morning? Wonder what he was saying. God, wouldn't that be just amazing? Yep. All right. So for those of you who are watching and haven't seen any of my videos, here, let's do the house really quick, all right? So this is outside the house. See? That's the front door. That's where DoorDash probably pulled up here, but I think DoorDash ran around the back. So that's outside. And then this is just inside the door right there. Then look, there's stairs that go upstairs to the 2nd floor. On the bottom floor, that's Bethany Funk's room right below, which will be the living room up there. Then there's a bathroom and a like utility room right here. And then this is the storage room that nobody was using. It could have been a bedroom. All right, now this is in the storage room. That way down there is Bethany Funk's room, and just to the left is the front door that goes outside. And then that's the storage room. Now I'm way down the hall in Bethany Funk's, almost in Bethany Funk's room. And now I'm in Bethany Funk's room, right here. And right outside there's the parking lot. That's the slope ceiling from the stairs there. All right, now that's the front door, and I'm going up those stairs that we showed you a minute ago. Right below down there is Bethany Funk's room. There's the TV, there's a couch around the corner. Now we're up into the living room. There's those stairs. This is where, when the 911 happened, you could almost just make it seem like this person right here is is Hunter, who's heading towards the room, and Bethany and Dylan are probably about where my camera is right now. And then he goes down there and goes, get out, get out, get out, and they go back down the stairs, right? So this is the living room right here. Really simple house, you guys. It's very simple. And then this is Dylan Mortensen's room. Her door is right there. Right there. And those are the stairs that go upstairs. And then just down this hall is Xana's room. And now we're in Xana's room. Sounds like we've had this nailed. That Ethan Chapin was killed on the bed and he bled out. That's probably his blood underneath the house there. And then Xana, however, her legs were facing that direction. And then we're back out in the hallway again. There's Xana. There's the bathroom door. Now we're back in the living room, and that's the, there's a character in the scene here. I didn't try to make him look like Kohberger would look. And then there's Dylan right there. So that's how Dylan would be looking out. And that's probably why she only saw his left eyebrow, because when he turned, he went out that sliding glass door there. So the next one is inside Dylan's room. So it probably looks something like that, where she's looking out the door when the person, Kohberger, turned. And then, again, that's her room there. And these are the stairs coming up. We're halfway up the stairs. There's a window right there that goes out towards the back parking lot area. Then we go up to the top of the stairs. Now there's that window, the top of the stairs. This right here is Kaylee Gonzalez's room. And then then we just came out of Kaylee's room. I think there's one that was in the room. Yeah, so in the room, there's a dog over there, balcony. And actually, when they were tearing the house down, I could see this closet, that little closet area was still there. And then you go out. Let's just go like that. And then this room right here is Madison Mogan's room, where Kaylee, who lives right there, was in her room, because just earlier in the evening they were trying to call Jack. Now you're in the room here. There's a window that looks out to the back. The parking area where Kohberger parked a few times. Each time he would go around is back here. Here's the bed. Apparently, Kaylee's sitting up in the corner, kind of hunched over. And I think Madison's laying, I think she's laying like this, and her knife's on her right side. And then I guess the next one is all the way down at the bottom of the stairs again. We just came down the stairs. That is Dylan's room. And then this right here is the kitchen. And then you go out the sliding glass door, and he goes back up to his vehicle. There you go. All right. So the house is really pretty simple. It's not complicated. It's actually pretty small. It's weirdly built, but it's not complicated or anything. All right. So what else do we get off of that? So far we've heard some crazy things that apparently. So listen to that. Are you still here, Zozo? Are you still here? Apparently, they think that Kohberger chased Xana down the stairs, so that matches a sighting that Dylan said, but I think she called that a different person. But anyways, chased down the stairs, and then came into the room and then killed Xana, and then apparently carved Ethan's legs, and then he sat down in a chair in that room. I mean, it's just absolutely bizarre stuff, What's so funny, you guys? Well, she doesn't, she has to work and stuff. She's not able to be here. I don't know what the funny part is that you guys are laughing about. Let's see. The doc said he acted like they were prey. The doc? What doc? Yeah, we said that. See, here's the thing, everybody. Some of these channels watch our shows, okay? Because how many times have we said that it looked like Kohberger was circling the house like a shark trying to get its prey, you know? And all the different timeline elements, and there's a 13-minute window where the killings happen, blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on. It's crazy. It's always the same. And they do watch them, by the way. Their producers sometimes will say, oh, yeah, we definitely... But do they ever give a damn? And the answer is no. All right, so what time is it? 8:07, got 53 more minutes. I guess there was some blood imprint, like somebody sat down in that chair, apparently. So he must have had blood quite a bit on his body to have something like that happen. And I think they just think based on the sound that he chased her. I don't know how they know that he chased her, that he chased her down the stairs. I don't know how they could possibly know that. But they might be incorporating what Dylan said to do that. Because remember, all of us thought that? You know, that, but then it seemed to be debunked because the person that Dylan said she saw was found dead in a bed. And Xana was not found dead in a bed. She was found on the floor. So, you know, I guess that's where the problem is. Hey, thanks, KR. Why do I feel it has been so much longer that this? I don't know what that means. Why do I feel so much longer than this? What do you mean? What do you mean? The show, or Dylan thought it was Kaylee, but was Xana? Well, we don't know who she thought it was. She might have thought it was Madison too. Dude, I wonder now if that is why the plant is knocked over near the DoorDash sack. Well, she was upstairs, though, and was chased downstairs. Did she get chased into the living room, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. That'd be strange. Yeah, where was that chair? Liz and I have to get to a party. Is that who's Liz? Is Liz another character? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm just wondering. I think everything you say is like a hint about a Bundy situation. Straight to her room and caught up with her. Right, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? So, what are you referring to when you say Play-Doh awesome? I'm trying to read the comments. I don't see anything. It says Amy Higg, thank you. Ted Bundy. I don't even see anything. Oh, way up there. Jesus. We FaceTime when home on Wi-Fi and set you up in front of my laptop for you to watch. Oh. Yeah, you could do that. We could probably do it also in you know what we could do is in Discord. I could play it because I actually have Peacock streaming, you know, so I can watch the full episode, and then I bet you we could do like a Discord streaming of it. Probably would look better, I think. Play-Doh. So that must be what the I'm here to help comes from. Like he's sprinting after her and says, "Hey, I'm here to help. Slow down." I don't know, man. I think there's some other element here. How about this? He goes upstairs and he's killed Madison and Kaylee by, let's say, 4:12. Then he chases down Xana, and he's killed both of them. Or he thinks he's killed both of them by 4:14. And then he goes, you know, this is the when he doesn't leave the knife sheath. He leaves it there accidentally in this scenario. And then he goes, God, where's that knife sheath? And he goes up and looks for it. And he's looking around. He can't find it because it's a little bit tucked underneath Madison. So then he goes back down the stairs, and he hears whimpering. And hell, Xana is still alive. And then he attacks her a second time. But on the way there, he goes, "Hey, it's okay. I'm here to help," to keep her calm. And then that's why there's a thud sound, because maybe she's standing trying to get out. I don't know. It's just a theory. I don't have any. I'm just basing it on what they told us. Yeah, you have been longer than 29 months. You must have accidentally got like unmembership for a while, Amy, because you've been around forever. You've been in like years, not just 2. You spent almost 29 months since like you started your school and haven't been here as much. You know what I mean? The thud is him dropping into the chair out of exhaustion. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like he just goes, ah, phew. That'd be kind of weird. But hell, you never know. You know, you never know, Candace. We'll have to see, I guess. Watch at trial, they say. Now, we believe the thud sound is Kohberger plopping himself down in that chair for a well-needed rest. Maybe he was on his... Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, isn't there a way to do that though on Discord where you can like, I could stream on there, right? That sucks though. Discord, you have to like make sure you turn it off. Are you going to stream? No way. I can't stream that stuff. I might have it play, like listen to some audio. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not sure I can do any of that. But maybe we could do something on in Discord where we all are watching it. I'm not a big fan of Discord. I think it's really slime. Sometimes I mean, like it's, you know, I don't know. A lot of weird people on there. It's kind of like Reddit, you know. I just kind of deal with my own little Discord, and we just have it's kind of small. Hey, thanks for the coffee. Anything else, you guys? Any other? What when they showed the Elantra, did they show the full movement of it on the videos? Can you tell me that? It's not the best BMS. It's never the best. Let's see. Just because you like it because you met some cool people doesn't mean it's the best now. It's the same garbage. Let's see. Yeah, showed him speeding, zooming away. Okay, I want to see, because I have him at 20 miles an hour speeding away. So I have this little thing here. Each one of these, so if you haven't seen this, my timeline here is these 3 loops are exactly the same. He does the exact same thing on these. Yeah, all like these 5 white space, these 5 spaces here. So, so you don't even have to know what it is, but at this portion he goes 9.75 miles an hour, 877, 11.36, and then this time he goes So it goes 9.75, 10.05, 10.38, then 9.20 on one that you can actually measure. This one is similar, but it's not the same thing. Then right here, it's 8.77. This is the behind Linda Lane, and then the camera's light hitting 1127. That is 8.7 miles an hour, 6.96, 6.31 on the third. Then on the fourth, it is, he's going 10.62 miles an hour, which is way faster than these. And then when he's leaving, it is the purple. So on the first loop, it's 11.36 from when the vehicle spotted at 1122 King Road, and then behind 1119 Willanta, King Road also, but his vehicle's on Willanta Drive. So that's 11.36 miles an hour, and then 10.74 miles an hour, and then 969 on the third pass, but then 22.08 miles an hour on the final loop. So he's literally going twice as fast and more, like literally, 120% faster. You can hear engine really revving at 420. Oh yeah, so they've got everything going there. Okay, I'm gonna have to get copies of that. I mean, I'm just gonna copy it. I'm sure it's a good quality on the show, you know. He floored it around the corner, yeah. But here's the thing, everybody. He sat at that car for 2 or 3 minutes. Did they think that in the show? Did they think that he did some blood spatter mitigation where he was out of his car by like 2:18 or so, and that he left the house at around 2:18? Because I think he obviously did, because Dylan and Bethany were on the phone at 2:19, so he'd already left. Did they say that in the show? Delve, did they actually say that? Okay, somebody said yes up above. I don't know. Yeah, but he sat down in Dylan's room, Xana's room. But what was he doing in there? Why would he sit down? That's wild. She heard it when there was crying in Xana's room. Yeah, and in one of the documents it said that she heard crying from a bathroom. What would that be? So that's what makes you think that Xana was still alive after the first attack. No, she sped away at 4:20 and 47 seconds. Yeah, we already know that video captured it. I don't know if you guys watch my channel or not, but we've gone over all of this. We just didn't have the footage of some of it. We had the still frames of a couple of the motions, but I've animated it out. It's really obvious. Didn't they say there was evidence of cleanup? Yeah, but when would that have happened? I guess after he sat in the room, he went and cleaned his hands or something, or... Okay, good for you, Jay. He too reheat it for great coffee. That's all right. Don't worry about it. What are you going to be doing for your work, Jay? Wow, look at it. It's Patty Mills coming through. The ex-Portland Trailblazer. Very cool. Thanks, Patty Mills. G'day, mate. G'day, mate. Let's see. Oh yeah, darn it, I don't have it on. I wanted to hear. Maybe I can turn it on just quick enough. God, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Ah, we did get to hear part of it. Music and angry and all that. You gonna say what do I want to spell my name right? Oh man, we got the rock in the house. That's what the room was all about. I don't see the picture on the screen. How come?
I'll be watching Dateline with you at 9 Grey. Great content on your channel.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get off of here by 9 to watch it in peace. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be able to concentrate. Like, we'll be playing stuff, and it's just a long process. So I'm going to watch it, and then tomorrow what I'll do is I'll make sure that I get the clips somehow off of the show, and we'll be able to integrate that into all the animations and stuff we've already done. I mean, what are the Kohbergers saying at this point? Are there any of them out there that still are... I mean, what's their excuse that Kohberger was trying to buy another K-bar knife 2 days after the homicides? Why would he buy another one if he still had the one he bought, you guys? He lost it, Gray, but he lost it fishing, not at the homicide site, you bastard. Wow, again, he's the most unlucky person on the planet. Isn't that amazing? You know, I actually heard a clown one time say that... well, I mean, Kohberger he could have just been a peeping Tom, and he was parked behind the house for those 13 minutes, and he witnessed the homicide. Then he got freaked out, and that's why he drove away at a high rate of speed. Yeah, these people are absolute crazy people, you guys. They said the car wasn't white. Who's that? The Kohbergers? Talking about the lime green Elantra? It is a stupid theory, and yet it exists. And you know what's amazing? What's even more amazing is in the comments. Hundreds of people were saying, "You're the greatest, man. You have such... oh, wow. You should be a..." You know, it's just unreal. Unreal stuff. That's what I get the most scared about, is looking at the reaction and it makes you realize that there's just a lot of really stupid people in society, you know, that are just wandering around aimlessly, bumping into walls. You know, we don't know what else they're doing. His dad and... That's not nice, Gray. Just because it's different doesn't mean... You know what? No, it does. It does. It means that you're dumb, okay? Because you're believing something that is so ludicrous, and you didn't have the ability to cast that aside. Maybe he switched shoes to look like two perps. I don't know. Who's talking about shoes? Did they mention that there were shoe sizes that were different or something, or what? And I'm talking about the ones that believe the crazy theories, not just like if... here's the truth. If you actually think that Kohberger didn't do it, then there's something wrong with your brain. Literally. Like, you need to go check into a facility and try to get help. If you go, God, I just don't see it. You know, I don't see it. How come? No mention of shoes on Dateline. I didn't hear anything about shoes. Yeah. This is a refuge for people whose brains work. So thank you. That's okay, Gray. I just don't like the way you sound. I don't know what else to say, though. Do you get it? I don't know how else to respond. I can't do it, man. I cannot do the... You know, that's a good thought, you know. But here's what I think. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I think it's disingenuous to pretend that these crazy lime green vehicle stories are somehow interesting. Cult of Poopy Police. Delana thought she... Who's Delana? Oh, Dylan. Yeah. Thought she heard Xana or Kaylee say there was someone here. No, that's not how it went. Dylan said she thought it was Kaylee who said there's somebody here, but law enforcement said they believe it could be Xana because she was still awake using her TikTok. That's what she said. That's what law enforcement said. So that's the actual order there. I just said it. I just told you. And that's how they spell tire, by the way, in Europe and in England and Australia. They spell tire Tyre. Let's see. Do you think they match the... I don't know. I remember they were measuring those. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because if he peeled away and it made it... And they probably measured that because they saw the car speeding away and went, ooh, look at he's right there. And that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? If the tire tracks matched. However, a lot of cars are driving around, so I don't know how valid you could get a... Well, but you should have known for sure because it says it right in the probable cause document where we read it. Now, let's see. They claimed he sat down out of exhaustion after chasing Xana and killing Ethan. Really? God. And how long did they say that he sat down for? Did they say what time they thought he left the house? What's 10 minutes? What do you mean 10 minutes? They didn't say 10 minutes, did they really? There's no way they said that. He couldn't have been there 10 minutes. No, it's not. You're not right. A can opener. He didn't leave at 4:20. He didn't leave at 4:20. His car was speeding away at a high rate of speed at 4:20 and 47 seconds. He obviously left quite a bit before that because he had to take his bloody clothing off so it didn't get into his car. Now, you might say, well, hell, his whole car was covered with plastic inside, and therefore he didn't care about that. But what are you talking about? Who's that you're talking about? True Crime Diva. How do I watch the Dateline? It's on NBC. I'm actually recording it, and I'm going to watch it. What do you mean you're repeating Dateline? What are you talking about? Yeah, the Dateline said the car left at a high rate of speed at 4:20 and well, they didn't put the 47 seconds. That's what I mean. They're not precise on those shows. Blood impressions with his butt. That's crazy. Jesus. Norton aired it on TT, and that she's saying, who's TT? She played that? God, I hope they just absolutely ban her. Are you talking about that girl that's on that channel? That she's saying a lot more. She has lost her mind. Well, I don't know how you guys even understand. I actually tried watching her lime green thing for about 20 minutes, and I didn't understand one thing she was saying. It's just rambling around, but her viewers just think, okay, what she's saying must make a lot of sense. Oh, that's so great. That's so great. It didn't mean anything. It was terrible. It was like this complete, collage of idiocy over and over again. I don't know what's going on with this. Is crazy. True crime has become something else. It's some other thing. Well, they said he carved his leg. Does that mean he carved something? Or does that mean that's just, he cut his leg and that's what he bled from? Well, she doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not sure why you even watch it, Lindsay. It's bizarre. There's nothing of intellectual value. It's just complete, it's a falsity. He took that corner so fast, he could have crashed. Really? Did it look that fast, the way he was going around it? So you're talking about this corner right here. Let's do it. Let's go to this one right here. It's going to take a minute to load up. But he's only going 20 miles an hour, you guys. I mean, you can actually measure the speed. So I don't know how that is, but you talking about this corner right here? Or no, I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about this corner right here, right? So this corner right here, when he goes like this and he zips around, I'm not sure why it's rotating like that. So when he goes around this corner right here, right? Because the camera is right up here. God, why does it keep rotating like that? Right up on top of that building there. It's right up there. Oh, I think I need to... So right here, it turns really fast. Okay. But then I think it slows down out here to not get pulled over, but you want to get out of this area. But he does go quicker up here than he does on the other ones. But he goes 22 miles an hour average from when it was spotted there to when his lights are back there. So if you guys haven't seen the show lately, we've gone back here and you can see all the stuff. Let's see if we move it back. No, that's pretty good. Let's go back this direction a little bit on the way up. So there it is. So that building right here on the oh Jesus, man, it's weird. It's like moving around on me. That's 1119 King Road right there, and this is 1127 where the lights from the parking area hit. So there you go, right there, boom, right there. That is 1112 King Road right here. So see that building? That's the building with the surveillance camera. So when the vehicle was driving right where I am right now, the headlights can be seen on the camera above that door. And then when the vehicle comes around that back parking lot, it's right back here. And you can see, these are, that little whiteness you see there, those are cars parked back there. And if I go up a little bit further, you might be able to see them. Like right there, there's one right there, a vehicle. So up in that parking lot, when the car pulled back up around there, its headlights hit the top of this building here. Also picked up on the 1112 King Road camera. He did not even strike a person. They said that when he left, he could have hit a person. What does that even mean? You mean he could have hit Dylan, you mean? I'm not even sure what you're saying. Who's saying inaccurate information? Lisa Valenzuela. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. He hacked, stabbed. Don't even listen to the... Listen to what, Pete? I'm not even sure what you're talking about. They said the blood splatter showed he hit an artery on Ethan. Right. And I think he bled out on the bed and it went on the floor, and that's what seeped outside of the house. He almost hit a person? Okay. I'm not paying attention to that. You think Dateline's information is inaccurate? Okay, I'm going to have to see it myself. I don't agree. I think the FBI is their source, and I think they've already looked into it all themselves. Some of it might not be accurate, but the video they got from the FBI, so, you know, they had that. Right, Ethan was still in his bed. And that's exactly what I've had for about a year now. I've had that change. I used to have him on the floor and stuff like that, but after getting new information, I was like, you know what, I think Ethan's on the bed, and the blood outside is from him, and Xana's on the floor. And we have it right here, look. Wow, that was luck. But see right here? This is how I've had it. That Ethan's on this bed in the corner here, and the blood, that's the wall that outside, there's blood outside the house. And then Xana's on the floor, except her feet are facing that way and her head's facing this wall over here. So I just have to rotate her 90 degrees. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. They said he almost hit somebody? I don't know. Maybe they just meant he almost hit a car. Nobody's walking around at that time. So they show the beds in different position. How? Can you tell me how the beds are? Because I've never got to... I don't know for sure. I just have a bed over there because that's where blood was found. There could have been a bed on this side of the room. Can you tell me where they had it, the bed? Man, I'm so looking forward to watching this. I got to see all this stuff. I'll definitely, we'll have to do a show tomorrow on it. Yeah, he didn't hit anybody with it. If he did, that would be part of the story that we've all heard. They have the bed in... What do you mean they have the bed in the animation? What animation? What are you talking about? Parallel against the wall. Okay, so it's like if I rotated this bed 90 degrees, that's how it was? Okay, so it's just 90 degrees, and it's against this wall over here. Okay, so if I put the head of the back of the bed would be on this wall. So just quit saying yes and no for a second, okay? Just quit saying yes and no. Don't do anything. So if I put the foot of this bed against that wall over here, and then the head of the bed is closer to the camera, is that correct? That's not in the middle of the room. There's no bed in the middle of the room. You'd see it if you walk down the hallway. That'd be ridiculous if the bed was in the middle of the room. What do you mean head in the corner? So he was facing backwards on the bed. The head of the bed was towards the center of the room, and the foot of the bed is at the wall, back wall over here. And then his head, but his head's about the way he is right here, right? Okay, let's do this. I'm going to get out of this program here. This is important stuff, so I'm going to have to... Right, just let me just do it. I'm not going to... So hold on a second. Okay, so the head of the bed is against the wall. That made more sense to me. Why would you put the head of the bed in the middle of the room? All right, so I'm going to open this thing up. Hold on. It takes a second. I was doing two of them? Jesus. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it always takes a while to load this one up. It's huge. But hey, you guys, don't forget to help support the channel. We've had like a 25, 30-minute lull here, so if you guys can help support the channel, that'd be great. Let's see. 5, open recent. There we go. No, I've got plenty. I have 64 gigabytes. It has nothing to do with that BMS. You're always inaccurate with your comments. It's really strange. You need to sort of... Nah, I can't really watch it live with you guys because then I can't pay attention to it. I mean, how do I hear it? Because then the audio plays. I'm not sure that's... Yeah, it's going to be on here in 20 minutes. Alright, so if you take this, this is the bed. Here, see, I already have her face correctly, right? She's like that. I'm not sure if she's on her back or whatever, but... Alright, so let's rotate this. So... Oh, shit. I think I have to put this on local, rotate. Let's just do it like that. So you're saying, is it like, yeah, not that. The bed, it's right in the corner like this. Is that in the corner or is it actually out like that a little bit? Was it like this right here or was it kind of in the corner? So this bed's probably shorter than that. It doesn't stick out that, well, I could do about like that. Okay, so it's like this, just how I have it. All right, so then this is going to be, Ethan is, God, this is crazy. It's like that, right? Is that right? Like that? Ish. Wow, I was pretty damn close anyways, though, wasn't I? I mean, I was pretty damn close. That's why you got to be watching this channel, you guys, if you want to get the accurate stuff. That was pretty damn close. And then they have Xana on the floor like this, right? Just like that, right? Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna go. I'll show you what looks like. So you come in the house. This is downstairs. Then there's the front door again. Now we go up those stairs, right? And then come around. Now we have a different look in here. So we come in and it's gonna look totally different because it's gonna be like that. That's how Ethan is. And then you come out, and then right there is where Dylan would be. Kind of go under a room for a second, come out, then you go up the stairs like this. This is Kaylee's room. There's Murphy. Come out, there's a bathroom right there on the left. Then you come in, this is Madison and Kaylee on the bed. Do they have them kind of like this in there? No, Simpson, it could have been on the other side of the... Yeah, but I figured it out, Simpson. So, unfortunately, people you watch would never be able to figure it out. Yeah, I actually was able to deduce where everybody was prior. Okay? All right, clown? Thank you. I'm on the West Coast. If it aired at 9 p.m., wouldn't that mean it aired at 6 p.m.? No. It means that you guys, if it's 9 over there, it's 6 over here, and we have to wait till 9. It has the same time frame. They don't do it live, like it's 9 here and 9 there. It's 9 everywhere. I guess it's 8 Central Time. Their animation didn't show any bodies. Yeah. I'm sure it was a better animation than the one I got, but you know, mine's pretty good. And mine gives you exactly what you need to see. Everything's proportional. There's no reason for it to be any different You know, I mean, we'll always have me adding to it, etc. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could watch it together as long as I don't have to. Well, here's the thing, you guys. I mean, I could just watch it on my own. There's really no reason to watch it together. I mean, if you guys are supporting the channel and stuff like that, then that'd be great. But it's just kind of like 2 hours where I could really focus in on and get the details, and write it down and understand it. Yeah, I'll show you. Well, the wall in Xana's room is right here. I explained it earlier, but it's this wall right there. Well, let me just show you from above. It looks like this. Can you see Ethan right there? See that? See him? Well, watch. The blood was right there coming down. Man, that was amazing. That little animation right there. The blood was coming down right there. Man, what a cool way to be able to do that. I didn't realize. I forgot that you could just highlight the guy and you could see through the wall. But it's just like this. Watch. Boom. And the blood was right there on the wall. See that? Right, but are you guys going to be supporting the channel during it? Because, I mean, I can really sit here and do that, but we've hit one of those dead spots where, like, people are ready to go do something else. Watch it on your own in peace. Well, I am recording it, so I guess I could do one take. I mean, I don't know. Let's just see how it goes, okay? If we're dead as a doornail after the first hour, I'll move on to do something else. Right. I mean, the thing is I'm not going to be able to do anything on it until later, so... Well, if I turn chat off and watch, though, I mean, I can't have the audio playing, though. I mean, I guess that's the thing, is it's not really, you know, like, audio's also their content, you know? Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. I'll just watch it on my own. Alright, anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you to, let's see, Richard Watts, K. Me, Vintage, Peacock, Theo Roy, then CR, Alley Cake, Wonder Woman, Uniquely, Susie, Retired Hospice RN, Art, Robert P., Decidra, Gambrel, Toka Charlie, H. Runs, Bridget Bauman, Jess, Von Dozen, Courtney, Stephanie Sprague, new member, then Ted Bundy, Tumbleweed, Austin Huber, Ted Bundy again. Thanks Ted Bundy. Hey, no problem, Candace. Then we have Mamasaurus Bear 64, and that was a cool way. It just randomly happened where I already had Ethan highlighted, and then you could see Austin Huber, Alley Cake, Tina Humphrey, then Ted Bundy, Joni Jackson, Naomi Rollins, Gifted 5, then Von Dozen, Naomi, Ted Bundy, then Sean Ellis Gifted 5, then Harry Me Boy, then Alley Cake, then Ted Bundy, then Brooks Gifted a membership, then Kimberly Gabalden Gifted 1, then Alley Cake, Kimberly Gabalden, then Timothy Cecil, Naomi Rollins Gifted 1, Ted Bundy again, then Sean Ellis Gifted 5 more, then Jess, then M10 Gifted 5, then I Gifted 5, then Sean Ellis Gifted 5 more, then Candalee Woodward Stone's been here for 44 months, then Amy Higg, then KR Gifted a membership, then Ted Bundy again, Amy Higg, and then Judy Grand Strand, and then, I mean, these are like 40 minutes ago. Eva Andrews and Candace. Alright, then we have Joshua, Ted Bundy 5 times, Anthony Gomez, and Lisa Valenzuela on the buy me a coffee, and there was a PayPal from Purple Mountain. So there you go. All right, everybody, I'm going to go check it out, and then tomorrow I'll try to do a review on it as a video or something, and then we can talk about it on the show. But everybody take really good notes, all right, so we can talk about it in detail. All right? That would be awesome. You want to see more shorts on my... Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to do the shorts, you know. I could find little clips, I guess, but... Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll try to figure something out tomorrow, Zozo, with the... But you don't ever... You can't sit around for 2 hours either. So it's not like, you know... I mean, I don't know if you could sit still for 2 hours and have the time, right? So we could do it on Discord or something, but I think you'd come back and say, hey, what did I miss? And then we'd have to rewind it. You know how it goes. Come on. Be honest. Oh, yeah, that might be kind of cool. Like clips of the wall, like little things. That's not a bad idea there, Madison. Just really simple the animated little 60-second explanation of a little portion of something. Okay, that's a good idea. See, she didn't even hear what I just said. I was waiting for her to come back. He followed them home, in my opinion. From where? From the pool party? I guess she didn't respond. No, I'm not able to get the footage. I don't even know if that was supposed to be released, but the FBI gave it to Dateline. I mean, I don't see why there's a reason it can't be released. It's exactly what I have in my animations. It's obvious where the car was going, etc. Hopefully they showed it all. Did they show all of it, like when it got there? And, you know, they do show the Linda Lane footage coming around, etc. What do you mean unmuted? I'm still wondering if he went to Mad Greek. I have the exact amount of... What does that even mean, Pete? I have the exact amount of 1112 King Road. What? What does that even mean, man? Type as full sentence. No, you don't have any of it. All right, thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Now, your sentences don't make sense, Pete. You're just trying to get a lot of stuff in like you're really interesting. But it's not working for you. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time... What the hell's going on the screen? Be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. Oh, and during this whole time, I have not seen one person... Come on, Zozo. Would you be able to watch 2 hours in a row? Crime dissector. Let's be honest. Projector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gotta get ya on a stretcher. If you try and play me like an old projector. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Is my nectar. Maybe we can edit down a version for you. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and maybe I'll do a private on his pector with all respect. Just remember, I have a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. I've got an idea. We could do StreamYard. Just get right back to work. But it's not even on YouTube. Like, it's just a recording session. But you can, I think I can have like 10 people over on StreamYard, and we can just all watch. And maybe I'll try to... We can just skip through the commercials or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. All right? Maybe we can get it down to an hour and something. I don't know. They all have the same deal with content like that. You can't just put anything out there like that. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you found it interesting. It's hard to deal with all the crazy pro burgers who show up, but I guess it is just the way it is. I can't pretend that they have really interesting comments. All right, thanks for being here. We'll see you guys next time. And again, as I always say, be safe out there.